Hey, I'm about to film the kitting up for this new canvas and I'm super excited. This one won the poll over on Instagram and on YouTube. I'll elaborate on that a little bit later once we are actually kitting up, but I wanted to show you the canvas. I already prepped it a little bit. I did the washi tape around the border as I always do, and then when I start painting I'm going to remove this whole cover. I don't use this I don't use this with washi tape. I find that annoying. I'm just going to cover the whole thing with release papers, but I didn't do that now because I wanted to show you the canvas before we started the kitting up, and it actually looks like not too bad of confetti heaviness as I expected. It's because it is a small canvas. It does have 70 colors, so it's quite a lot for this surface to have 70 colors, but still there are quite a lot of patches of the same colors, which I really like. I don't like when there's too much confetti. So yeah, let's start the kitting up. And then I'm going to start painting this one today. I'm so excited. So here we are, kitting up. I prepped almost everything, so I'm going to talk you through that first. This kit, as I said, has 70 colors, which means it had 2 of the sticker sheets, but only one of them and only 3 of them on there, so I cut this one out already. I'm going to be putting that one in here when I finish kitting up, so that I know what the drills are in here, where they belong to. I'm also going to do that with this one after I finish using the stickers. This little sticker is also going to go in the container. And I also already prepped the ABs. I always go through, before I start painting, I just get this little sheet, go through all the numbers and go through all the ABs and other special drills that I have. And then I'm going to think which one I want to use. These are 3 that I have very little of, so I'm hoping to just finish these off. Then I have 666 in Fairydust and AB. Not sure if I'm going to use both or one or none. Let's see. Then I have 818 AB, 819 AB, and 963. I also have Fairydust and AB. Again, not sure which one I'm going to use yet. Then I have 3756 in AB, 3841 in Fairydust, and 3865 in AB. I'm just going to put them in this little box. Keep this box beside me while I paint on that new painting, and then decide where and if and how much and all that kind of stuff I'm going to use them. So I don't have a set plan before I start painting where I'm going to use the ABs. I'm just going to go with the flow. This one has quite a bit of special drills as it is. It has 6. We're going to see them at the end. But I think I'm going to at least be using, hopefully, these 3 little bags just to use something up. But let's see how it all goes. I already cut the bags and put them in order, sort of. Not all the way, but I did put them at like the hundreds with the hundreds, like the 400s with the 400s, so it's not as hard to find the next one when I'm kitting up. So we're going to be starting. I'm going to start with the sticker on there. Obviously I used the washi tape that came with the kit over here and also on the border of the painting, as I just showed you, so that's very cohesive. I don't think this washi tape fits this painting the best, to be honest. But I just, yeah, the washi tape that comes with Diamond Art Club is usually enough, for me at least, to be able to do this while kitting up and to also border the painting. So that's why I chose right now to just use this one. I'm going to put a little piece of dryer sheet in here because there is static. Yay! I knew that. This one has, as I said, 70 colors. I have, let me count, 56 and 28. How much is that? 84, I think, containers. So if there are bags that don't fit in one little container, then I am able to use 2 for some colors, not for all, because I want to have enough at the end to finish all the colors, obviously. But yeah, that makes it a bit easier to fit them all in. I don't mind if there's a little left over, even though I would prefer if they would all fit in there, but that's usually not the case with this storage system that I use. And the storage system that I use is yeah, very conscious choice of using this one. I also have the Elizabeth Ward knockoff, which I also like, but that only has 50 spaces, 50 containers, and almost all of the paintings that I do have more than 50 colors. If it's, I hope you can still hear me, by the way, over this sound. But most of the paintings I do have over 50 colors, so they don't fit in there. If there's a few colors too many, so if there's like 54 or something, I might still use that storage system. But if there are a lot more, like in this case, when there's 70, so there would be 20 extra colors, I'm not going to be using that storage system because it's just annoying to have 20 colors left over. And this one isn't going to fit, I think. Let's see. I forgot to go get my big scissors, by the way. That's why I have this little guy, but it's fine. I can work with that. Let's see. I haven't actually checked how many there are that have a lot of them in the bag, but I think I'm going to leave this one. There's not too much left, so I'm just going to fold that over and put a little bit of tape on here. Not right now, because I don't have my tape right now. Should have brought that as well. Nice preparation. But yeah, I'm just going to leave that and continue with the next color. But what I wanted to talk to you about some more is the painting that won. If you've watched my last video, the getting down of, what's it called? Milky Way Galaxy, then you would have heard me talk about this a little bit already, but I knew this one was going to win. And if you've seen my Help Me Choose My Next Painting, which was the video I did where you could vote on this one, you also would have known that this wasn't my top pick to win this vote, but I knew it would. I know if I put a Margaret Morales in the voting, that one's going to win. Doesn't matter which one it is, that one is going to win. Just everybody just seems to love Margaret Morales paintings, so I knew this was going to be the case, but it's no problem. I wouldn't have put it in here if I didn't want to work on it, so it's all fine. But I would have preferred right now to do another one. I wanted, actually, before I decided that I was going to do a vote, I wanted to work on a Spangler kit because it has been a while and it's a very different color scheme than the usual paintings that I do. So it would have been, yeah, different. But this one is also different, and this one's also very pretty. And I also put the, it's just a little left, but it's not going to fit. I also put Raining Fire in there, which has been in voting a few times already, I think. And it's still one of my favorite paintings when I look at the image. I just know that it's an older painting, so I know the drill quality isn't going to be the best. That's what's keeping me from working on that one right now, but if it had won the voting, I would have been happy to be working on it. And I put, what's it called? Flower Crazy in there by Sandra? Is her name Sandra? Sandra Winter? Winter is the last name of the artist. I decided, by the way, to put this one in both containers. I have no idea what my logic behind that is, but I just did. So, I also would have really loved if I had gotten to actually pick. As I said, I would have wanted to work on the Spangler or on the Flower Crazy part painting. I've been wanting to work on that one since I saw Daphne from Diamond Painting Anonymous show her finish on that kit, and I think that's over a year ago by now. Since then I've wanted to work on that kit, but it just hasn't happened yet, and I'm sure it will. I'm really looking forward to working on that painting, but all in its own time, I guess. A lot of these colors don't have too many drills, which was to be expected because it is a relatively small painting, and this one is very staticky. Because it is a relatively small painting and it has 70 colors, so there couldn't be too much of all the colors in here, otherwise the painting would have been bigger. But that's nice that they're going to fit in these little containers. I almost always use the storage system, by the way. I recommended it to my friend, Diamond Art by Nikki, and she ordered one and she got it and she was like, "What? Is this a joke?" She thought it was so small. She was used to the Elizabeth Ward containers, so I get it. If you're used to those, these are really small. But that's why I like them. They're very easy to store, and I only have a relatively small, small space to store my diamond painting stuff in, just one drawer. And if I do multiple paintings, I would prefer all the drills to be able to fit in that one drawer. So if I were to use all Elizabeth Ward containers, they're not going to fit in one drawer. They're just so much bigger. I think they're at least twice the size of this big box of these. But I also saw from Lisette Crafts and Tells, she started using this storage system just recently, and she had actually a container like this, and then it had, like, I think one big thing where 4 of these small ones are just one big one. And I need to go look for that because that might be handy to have a few of them in here, to be able to switch it up, to mix and match with the ones I already have. I have quite a lot of these. I think I have at least 10 of these boxes, but they're almost all in use all the time because I have a lot of WIPs and I don't work on them all at once. But I could mix and match when I had the bigger containers, so I think I'm going to be on the hunt for those. And those containers are really not expensive. I think I paid just 2-3 euros for one of these boxes, and that's not bad at all. Especially when you compare it to the actual original Elizabeth Ward containers. Those are crazy expensive. You can easily spend like 50 euros on those, and I'm not about to do that. Especially when they're not my favorite storage system. If I would love them, I would go ahead and bite the bullet and just spend the money on them and use them for years and years, but I don't love them, so I'm not going to spend that money on something that I don't love, which makes sense in my opinion. Also, someone commented under my video not under my video, under my poll of voting for this one, I'm going to make them fit. Yes, you're going to fit. Hopefully this is fitting, but I'm going to have to put in a little more. Someone commented under this video or this post where I asked you to vote that I could enter the Margaret Morales event that's going on right now. I don't know the host from the top of my head. She did comment it under that post, but I don't remember. But I don't usually do events. I don't have a particular reason why I don't do them. I just I forget about them, and I see people entering, and I think it would be fun to join the community over there and to also join, but somehow I just don't. So I don't see myself doing it with this one either. Luckily, most of the events nowadays don't require a new start. So I did join in the event earlier this year from, yeah, Women Who Sparkle, I think was the name of the event. But that was only because I was a sponsor with my Etsy shop for that event, and I really like the hosts. I think the hosts are Sparkle Dots and Diamonds and Pearls. And yeah, I did join just because I was already working on a kit that was fitting the description for that event. So I did decide to join that, but I don't usually do that. I also had a few people asking, like, why don't you do the mini dazzles or the paint jam or other small kits that a lot of other YouTubers and diamond painters in general do, but that's not my thing. I don't like doing those small in-between projects. They don't give me the satisfaction that a big painting does. I don't like spending my money on that. I'd rather have one big painting that I love than 3 small ones, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to be picking up any of the mini dazzles, although there are some really cute designs, and I like that they have so many special drills in them usually. But no, just not my thing. I just want to buy big paintings that I love and work on them for months. Usually that is the downside of bigger paintings, I must say that. You are working, at least I am, working on them for months. Yeah, that's just the nature of my life right now. I have little kids, I have a job, I have other stuff to do. I don't have the time to be diamond painting all day like some people do when they're, for example, retired or don't have kids, or I'm jealous of those people sometimes. But it's fine. It's just the season of life that I'm in. I can imagine that in 10 years or something like that, my life will look completely different. I will have 3 teenage boys and they won't need me as they do now, which is totally fine that they need me. I want them to need me right now. I need them to need me because I need them to be little for a little bit longer. But sometimes it's hard. You don't get a lot of free time, and my husband is really nice in that regard. He supports me very much with my YouTube channel and all the stuff that I'm doing alongside of it. So he gives me extra time to, for example, right now, to film this video. He's downstairs with the little guy. Dex is at school right now, so he's not home, but Nate is home and he's with his dad so that I could film this video. So that's really nice. He does give me enough time to keep up with my YouTube channel and not have to do everything at night when they're asleep, because that just wouldn't be possible. I also need time to just diamond paint and not film and just relax and not worry about this kind of stuff. Not worry, I don't worry, but you know what I mean. I hope it makes sense. My gibberish. But yeah, it's just, it is a busy season of life, and everyone knows that. Everyone with little kids knows that. So I hope, if I sometimes, right now I have especially very little time because I'm also still kind of tired from the pregnancy, so I sleep a lot more, I go to bed earlier, I do naps in the afternoon if I have the chance, so I paint less, I have less time to film and all that kind of stuff. So what was I saying? So sometimes I do videos that are a bit, how shall I put it, less than what I would have wanted. Is that going to fit in there? I'm not going to try to make that fit. It's too much to stuff in there. But I think this is the color of her face, 819, so that's why I chose to fill 2 containers, because otherwise I'm going to have to refill when I'm in the middle of a section, and I don't like to do that. I usually don't keep the refill bags near me when I'm painting, so then I have to get up, go get the refill stuff, and that's not what I want to do when I'm sitting down to paint. I know, first world problems. So, but sometimes I do videos that are shorter or easier to film or take less brain power, like an extra WIP and chat. Even though I had actually wanted or planned to film something else, but WIP and chats are just the easiest to film, along with these kind of videos, editing wise at least, because WIP and chats I don't edit. I edit the beginning, I edit the end, I put some photos in there, but I don't edit something in the middle. So that means when I filmed it, the editing only takes me about 10 minutes maybe, and that's just such a time saver, because sometimes when I do longer talking videos, for example stash video, or yeah, whatever kind of stash video, like diamond painting or pen or drills or whatever stash video, I need to rewatch, re-listen the whole thing, because I need to edit stuff out, edit photos in, edit this and that and all kinds of stuff, and that just takes too long sometimes. I don't always have the time to be editing for another hour or 2 on a video. And then I choose to do a WIP chat, for example. But I hope you don't mind. I'm really trying to keep up with my schedule, even though that means that sometimes my videos are maybe shorter or different than I would have wanted. Right now I'm doing this video, and I filmed the dekitting yesterday, and those videos take quite a bit of time. They don't take much time editing, but they do take quite a bit of time to film and to prep and all that kind of stuff. Because right now I'm filming this, and I've been filming for 25 minutes already, and we're about halfway done, I think. So this video is going to be about 50 minutes. That means it already took me 50 minutes, but it's also already took me at least half an hour to prep all this stuff, to get it ready to film, and then I have to clean up, and then I have to edit. So these kinds of videos easily take me 3 hours to do, when WIP and chat, or when I chat for about half an hour, it only takes me about 45 minutes in total, maybe, to do the whole thing, from editing, uploading, filming, all that kind of stuff, just because it's just painting. And also the benefit of WIP and chats is then I also get some painting done. It's it's a win-win sometimes, but I do still find it hard to find subjects to talk about sometimes. If I have a particular subject in mind that I want to discuss, it's easy. I have 2 of those, by the way. I'm going to keep one just whole. But if I have a particular subject I want to talk about, like the last WIP chats I did were about my Black Friday purchases, my Black Friday plans, my goals, my YouTube and Etsy plans, that kind of stuff. That's easier to film than when I'm just sitting down and don't have a plan of what I want to talk about, because that's just hard. I'm not really very talkative, outspoken person. Is that what you would call it? So I don't usually talk a lot. And then when you have to sit down and talk for an hour, a half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever, at a time, it's a bit difficult sometimes. But I also discussed that in the Kidding Down, so I'm going to leave it at that. If you want to know more about my thoughts on that, you can go back and watch the last video I did that I uploaded last Saturday. I think I really have to start counting if I'm going to have enough containers left at the end. If I don't, it's not that big of a problem. I could also just leave the few of the last ones in a little Ziploc baggie, but I prefer obviously to just get them all in the containers. So I have to see and start counting a little bit. I was just watching Diamond Painting Anonymous video talking about her goals for the year, and she has the goal of doing 1,000 diamond painting hours in a year, which means, quick math, just over 80 hours a month. 80 hours a week, that would be insane, but 80 hours a month is still a bit insane for me. I don't think I ever did that, but then again, I only started painting after I had kids, which makes it hard to make time. So her kids are grown and I think they're not living at home anymore, so she has a lot more time, but still, she had around 150 hours left in December to reach her goal. That's insane. That's like a full work week of diamond painting. I would never be able to do that. I mean, I love diamond painting, and if I would have the time, I don't think I would ever spend 40 hours or nearly 40 hours a week diamond painting. I get bored after a few hours. I don't want to diamond paint for more than a few hours a day at least in one stretch. Maybe if you could paint a few hours and do something else, paint a few hours, do something else, and then paint a few more hours, maybe then it would be different. But yeah, no. That would feel like an actual job to me if I had to paint for that many hours. But as I said, I do love diamond painting, but that's a bit much, even for me. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to set any diamond painting goals for next year as I did for this year. This year I had the goal of finishing 12 diamond paintings a year, and as I said, I'm doing big ones, so that's why I only decided to put that number on 12. I reached that goal in September or something, so I did reach it already, which I'm very happy about. But I'm not going to set that goal for next year. I won't set myself up for failure, air quotes, in that regard. I'm not going to be able to finish 12 next year. I mean, the baby the baby is supposed to be arriving in May, and I guess he will arrive in May because I'm due May 10th. So if he's coming in April, I would highly doubt that, because both of my other boys were a little late, as in a few days over my due date. So I'm expecting this baby to also be a few days over. So that means this will definitely be a May baby. And I'm assuming I can still paint sort of normally as I do now in the first few months of the year, but when I get closer to my due date and my belly gets very big, I'm not going to be able to paint a lot, or maybe even at all. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see how it all pans out, but I'm not. And then when the baby is born, I know I'm not going to be painting much or even at all in the first few months either. When Dex was born, I didn't paint yet. I started diamond painting when Dex was 4 or 5 months old. I started painting when he was napping, and then when he started going to bed at a reasonable time at night, which took quite a bit of time. Then I also started painting at night, but then when Nate arrived, it also took me a few months to get back into diamond painting. So I'm expecting for that to be the case with this one as well. Even though I know that I have this YouTube channel now and I didn't back then. So that's going to give me a little push to start painting earlier than I probably earlier than I did with both other boys. But I don't know when. At least in the first month. I don't expect myself to be painting, and I think my YouTube channel is going to have to be on a little break then, because I don't have enough to film when I don't paint. I could do a few videos like stash videos and that kind of stuff, but that's about it. Like the update videos and the WIP and chat videos and the monthly reviews. If I did complete something in the last month, I'm still going to do the monthly reviews. But if I didn't paint, it doesn't make sense to do a monthly review. Duh. So, yeah. We'll see. I just don't know. I can't promise anything. And I hope you all will still be here when I get back. It does, scare is not the right word maybe, but it is a little bit, I'm going to use the word scary, to stop uploading. In my mind, at least, it is. I know the people that watch me regularly are going to come back, hopefully, but I also know that YouTube algorithm is a thing. And I've been uploading really consistently over the last year. And it's working. I just reached 10,000 subscribers, which is insane. And I don't think I would have been able to reach that if I was just uploading when I felt like it, just now and then. YouTube wouldn't be promoting my videos as much as it is now. Especially the ASMR videos just do, really well, in my opinion. They are still climbing. The hours that people watch, the amount of people that watch is still climbing. So I guess I'm doing something right. So it is, again, I'm going to use the word scary, to stop uploading altogether, or to adapt my upload schedule. But I know I'm going to have to, and I am going to be okay with doing that. But it is just a big step in my mind to do that. So just being open and honest about that. I think more creators have that, I don't want to say anxiety, but because I don't have anxiety over it, but it is something that I think about sometimes, and that I wonder about how it will all work out. I do definitely plan on keeping my channel and to continue it after I'm able to. But yeah, just the unknown. I hope you get what I mean. And if you're a creator as well, please let me know that I'm not the only one who feels like this. If you were to have to stop uploading for a while, would you be okay with that? Would you feel fine? Please let me know I'm not alone. Maybe it's my personality as well. And then when the maternity leave over here in the Netherlands is really, really well covered, you get 16 weeks of fully paid maternity leave, which I'm going to take 6 weeks before the baby is born. I now have this one full. Moving on to this little guy. There are 28 containers still left. I'm going to do a quick count. I have, yeah, 20, right? 20. 21 colors, and there are 28 containers left. So 7 of the bags can have a double up. That's not too bad. I did actually do that pretty well. But what I was saying is that I'm going to take maternity leave when I'm 6 weeks before my due date. At least that's the plan. For both other boys, I had to stop working earlier than that. So we'll see how it all goes right now. But that's the plan. And then I'm going to go back to work 10 weeks after I had the baby. So then I'm working 3 days a week. When I'm going back, I'm going back for 2 days in the first place. I'm going to take, what's that called? Is it also called paternity leave? Maternity leave? I guess so. Whatever. It's something that's been added in the last few years in the Netherlands, especially for dads. They're also allowed to take up to 9 weeks of paternity leave when they're at a job. It's not fully paid for the dads, and for me it's not fully paid either. Only the 16 weeks around your due date are fully paid. But if you want more, which I am going to be taking more this time, then it's 70% of your pay you're still going to get. So I'm going to go back for 2 days a week, and then I'm going to be doing that for the whole 9 weeks. So I'm working 3 days a week, so I'm going to get 27 days worth of leave when I get 70% of my paycheck for that day. So that's 27 weeks that I have to work 1 day less, and it's going to be very nice, I think, to be able to work 2 days a week for that long of a time. I'm going to go back fully to work in February of 2026, which is such a huge privilege. I know that. I'm sorry, I bumped the camera. I know maternity leave isn't this well covered in most countries. In some countries it's way better. I also know that, but I'm really happy with the arrangements that I made, and that I get to be home with the kids in the first 9 months. A lot more than I would have been otherwise, so I'm really grateful for that. And then after that, the plan is that I'm just going to go back to my 3 days of work. And my husband is working from home, so he will be still working from home in the meantime. And then we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. Then when it's February of 2026, Nate's almost 4 years old also. And then in the Netherlands, the kids go to school when they turn 4, right on their birthday. They go to school. So it's only a few more months that he is going to be home with us. And then he's going to go to school 5 days a week, just like Dex is going to school right now. And then we only have one baby at home, who's also going to be almost 1 year old by that time. It's ridiculous to think that far ahead. But yeah, it's going by so quickly. Even though sometimes I'm looking forward to them getting a bit older. I mean, I'm pregnant now, but the older boys, it's just getting easier right now. Dex is 4.5 and Nate is 2.5 years old, and it's just so much easier than, for example, a year ago. They're being more independent. Obviously, they're not taking care of themselves at all, but it's just it's way easier than when they're super little, than when they're under 1 year old. It's just the hardest time. And when they're 1, it's going uphill from there. Uphill, downhill. Huh? It's going better. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's just getting a lot easier when they're getting a bit older, and especially Dex right now. It's just so much fun for him to go to school and to be able to tell us the stories from what he did at school and all that kind of stuff. And the boys are just... Nate is still denying the fact that another little baby's coming. I think he wants to stay the little baby. When we say, "Oh, Nate, are you excited about getting a little brother?" He just says no. But Dex is very excited, and he's also very happy that it's going to be a boy. He really loves playing with Nate, and Nate also really loves playing with Dex, but Dex can articulate it a little bit better than Nate can. Nate does talk, but yeah, he's not going to say, "I want to play with Dex." He's just going to do that. But this morning when we woke up, when I went to get Dex out of his bed, he always waits for me to come get him, even though he obviously sleeps in a regular bed and he can get out himself. He just always waits for me or his dad to come out. So when I was going to get him out of bed, I asked him what he wanted to do today, what he was most excited for, and he said, "I want to play with Nate." And that's just the cutest to me. It's just to see the bond between them. It's the biggest reason why I've always wanted more than one kid. Both me and my husband are only child. I do have siblings, but they're half siblings. I didn't grow up with them in one household. I did go to see them very often. Obviously, they lived with my dad and their mom, and I lived with my mom. But I didn't grow up with them in one household, so they are my sisters and my brother, but I never had that regular, normal brother and sister bond of growing up in one house. And I really wanted to give my kids that. Not because I missed it, because I didn't miss it. I'm actually kind of happy that I was an only child with my mom. I'm quickly counting how many I have left. So as I said, I was happy to be an only child living with my mom. I never have anything negative about that. I don't have negative experiences surrounding that, but I was really happy to be able to give my kids that experience of growing up with a sibling. And I'm really happy how Dex and Nate are getting along. They're just so cute together. And especially Nate, he is a very, very cuddly toddler. And you would think that's very cute, and it is very cute. But it's also super, super inconvenient a lot of the times. He wants to cuddle all the time. I think his most spoken words are, "I want to cuddle." And he says that the whole day. And then he is 2-year-old, so 2-year-olds are savage. Sometimes they get what they want. They keep going until they get what they want. So if he wants a cuddle, he gets a cuddle, because there's no way I'm doing anything else when he wants that. And he also does that with his dad and with Dex as well. And Dex doesn't always want to cuddle his little brother. He does often, but sometimes he just wants to watch TV, or he just wants to play, which makes sense. He's a child. So then Nate wants to cuddle and Dex doesn't want to, and then yeah, it's hard sometimes to manage that. But yeah, they are very cute, and I think it's cute that he wants to cuddle us all the time. But as I said, it's not always the most convenient thing, as you probably can imagine. We're almost at the end. This is the last regular color, and I actually was thinking before I started filming this video that I didn't have too much to talk about, but now here we are at the end. I talked the whole time and I didn't even have to think about what I was going to talk about. So that's the most fun thing for me when filming this video, is when it all comes natural, when I don't have to think before what I really want to talk about, and when it just comes natural. And I think that's the best to listen to as well. I don't know if you've listened to my last video, the kitting down, as I said, of Milky Way Galaxy. Yesterday it was harder for me to keep chatting. I didn't have too much inspiration of what I wanted to talk about. I didn't plan beforehand. I usually don't. But yeah, yesterday I think it was sort of noticeable that I was running out of ideas that I wanted to talk about. This, by the way, is super, super pretty. I really love working with those. I've never worked with these type of drills, these glassy, iridescent, still don't know what Diamond Art Club calls them, drills from Diamond Art Club. I've only worked with them from Diapop, the other WIP that I have going on right now. But I am really loving them in there, so really excited to work with them in this one. I guess they're going to be in her crown or in her rings. I'm looking over at the canvas right now. I have 4 containers left, and I think I buried my little stickers under here. At least I hope I did. I did! Here they are. Yay. So I have 4 containers left, and I have 3 colors left, so that's nice. I hope they're all going to fit, because the last 2 colors have a bit more in the bag. I don't know if they're going to be able to fit in the container. Let's see. Let's put this one on here. How long have I been filming for? 47 minutes. I was right on the money before, when I said this one was going to be taking me around 50 minutes. I think I'm going to put these ones in the container next to it, because the last color has a little bit less, I think. If I'm looking at it like this, I hope I'm right. And then it's not too bad on how many colors I have left over in where I have leftovers for. I think there's about 10-ish colors that didn't fit. I'm just going to put them in a little plastic bag and keep them somewhere close. Yeah, I think hopefully this is going to fit in the container. Is it? Yes, it is. I'm just going to have to put some dryer sheet in there. These are really, really staticky. And then hopefully they will all fall to the side. Nice. Now I'm going to have to pick these all up. These are Fairydust drills, by the way. I think next to the iridescent ones. No, I think Fairydust are my favorite ones to work with in a painting. The iridescent ones stand out a lot more than the Fairydust drills do. And sometimes that's nice, but in a lot of paintings I think they stand out a little bit too much. But Diamond Art Club renders the special drills really well. I'm not going to try to fit that one in there because it barely shut. So yeah, I'm going to cut this one out really quickly, and then I'm going to put that one in the big container, and then I'm done kitting up. Now I'm going to be hanging up some washing. That needs to happen as well. And then hopefully later today I can start actually painting this. I'm going to be doing an ASMR video on this one very soon, because the reason I wanted to start a new painting was because then I was going to be able to film new ASMR styles, because I'm noticing that the other ones are a bit overdone at this point. So, yay, done. Super pretty. Look at these colors and look at the static in some of them. I think I'm going to have to put some more of the dryer sheets in here when I work on them, but that's a problem for later. Done. So I hope you liked this video. Again, if you did, give it a thumbs up and comment below. I really like to read your thoughts, and hope to see you next time. Have a nice day. Bye.